It's finally happening. As at Spurs Media Day, we heard from not only Mitch Johnson, but many of the Spurs players as we got a massive update on Victor Wembanyama's injury status, plus a little note on Stephon Castle, and another little update on De'Aaron Fox, as there has been a bit of a turn for the worse in his situation. We got to dive into the huge Victor Wembanyama news today, what Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson had to say about this team, and the unfortunate De'Aaron Fox injury update, all that coming up on this episode of Spurs Digest. And we're going to start with Fox. Straight into this, the Wemby stuff is so big. We'll be talking about the alien a little bit later, but the first thing we got to get into is Don Harris at Spurs Media Day can confirm De'Aaron Fox hamstring will miss the first couple of games of the regular season. November 1st target return date. And you can see here we've now got him listed as injured in our starting five graphic, but this is a bit of an unfortunate turn of events. Like De'Aaron Fox, like hamstring things take your time. They can be nagging. We know we don't want him to be unhealthy heading into the season, but it is a bit of a bummer, especially with the positive Jeremy Sochan update I shared yesterday. The positive Wemby update we'll be sharing in just a little bit. But De'Aaron Fox, like we know, there's been so many questions about him and Wemby fitting together, and you know, I'm already seeing some people, I don't know if I want to say overreacting, but reacting to what we're hearing here, because it does suck, right? We just signed him to this max deal, and to hear he'll already miss the first couple of games of the season is a bit of a bummer. But that raises a big question, right? Okay, how can we get a silver lining out of this? Well, one, De'Aaron Fox's pinky is going to be good for this season. Let him recover from this hamstring injury, and you know what? You know what the good news is? The good news is that we have Dylan Harper. We have Dylan Harper ready to go to fill that spot for De'Aaron Fox if we need him to. Or we can shift Stephon Castle over, take him as the starting point guard. Julian Champagnie coming up to start at the 2, Devin Vassell at the 3, or Castle, Vassell, and maybe Keldon Johnson, or Harrison Barnes at the 3. The good news is that the Spurs have such a versatile lineup right now that this unfortunate injury update is not going to spell the end of anything. And plus, it's just for a few games. Target date November 1st. That should be good. We got about a month for him to get better. Who knows how bad the hamstring will be. But I don't love hearing that he's going to be out like a month at least from today. That kind of sucks, but hey, hamstrings can be brutal. But like I said, the lineup, this is why we drafted Dylan Harper to some extent, and it's why we have so many nice depth pieces. I think it's going to be very, very interesting on that front. But I want to transition into what some other guys said. We'll probably have a few videos coming out on Media Day today, but I want to transition into what Stephon Castle had to say about the team identity. There's a lot of this stuff that I'm going to get into, including Wembanyama in just a minute, but Castle saying our potential defensively is scary. Josh Paredes did a great job transcribing a lot of this. With the length and IQ that we have defensively, with the guys we have potential to be a great defensive team. And Stephon Castle, look, I'm not going to say he's at the center of it because that is Victor Wembanyama, but he is definitely near the center of it. Stephon Castle was so good defensively in his rookie year, and looking at the roster, it's hard not to agree with him, right? A guy like Devin Vassell, who has always had nice defensive potential. He's long, he's quick, and he has decent instincts. De'Aaron Fox is so fast, so quick, great at jumping passing lanes. Harper is physical, showed off some great defense in Summer League. Stephon Castle, we know what he brings. Wemby is literally the best defender in the entire NBA. Luke Cornett and Bismack Biyombo, 2 rim protectors off the bench. Like, who's scoring on this team? Like, I know there's going to be people who are scoring. Did I even say Sochan? I think I said Sochan. If I didn't, Sochan too. But, like, it's going to be so difficult to go at this team constantly, night in, night out. You put in your bench unit, guess what? The Spurs puts in their bench unit. You got Cornett to go up against. You got the physicality of Harper, big body Keldon Johnson. There's so many things the Spurs can throw at you to disrupt your offensive game. And again, Wemby's anti-gravity under the net is so powerful on its own that the other opposing offenses are going to feel it so much. And I think Castle's right onto something here, and I love the idea of them buying into this defensive culture. But it's not just defensive culture. So there's something Mitch Johnson said in particular about our boy Victor Wembanyama. And look, Wemby, again, he's at the center of all the talk right now. We're going to get into his injury update in just a second, but we can see Wemby looks amazing. This is from Keldon Johnson. He's on a mission. He has something to prove. He looks really good. But Mitch Johnson said he wants the Spurs to be in the vision/identity of Victor Wembanyama. Mitch said Victor is the team's best player, yeah, and he wants the team to share his focus. And this is so cool to me. Like, you know, yes, that ideology of like, oh yeah, go with what your best player does. That's kind of how teams succeed. Yeah, look, I agree, but at the same time, to just hear that you want to buy into Wemby's philosophy. He's been doing this new CLA training, the constraints-led approach. You can read about that at The Athletic. He's been doing some crazy stuff this offseason, the Shaolin monks, all of these things. And to have him be that centerpiece, play the game around Wemby, is how this team is going to win in the long term. Again, we'll see how he fits with Fox and stuff, but I love the idea that the team is going to be working with this guy as the centerpiece. By the way, you want this sweater? You want this t-shirt? If you like this stuff, I love this sweater so much. Check out Die Hard Addicts. Again, we're partnered with them. They have that official Spurs Digest merch. You can get the same Wemby alien sweater plus much more. Use code DIGEST. It's in the description. If you ever want the shirts, the merch we're wearing in the videos, check out Die Hard Addicts in the description. But the big thing today, again, is not just how we want the Spurs to play around Wemby. It's the big update. And straight up, Mitch Johnson said Wemby is a full go for training camp. No concerns with the franchise player after his blood clot issue last season. None. Zilch. Zip. Nada. There's nothing. No more concerns. And even Sochan's like, look, I've been building the relationship since we got to San Antonio. Wemby looks amazing now. Keldon Johnson said Wemby looks amazing. It's going to be a good year. Wemby himself, we know he looks amazing. We know what he can bring to the table. He's looking more ripped, more shredded than ever. And again, to hear that there's no concerns is so good. Now, to be fair, this video is a couple of years old. He looks really young, thinner then. But to hear what we were hearing from Mitch Johnson, from Wemby, even from Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, all of this stuff is pointing to such an incredible start to the season. This is the update we have been waiting for ages. Look, we've seen Wemby training. We knew he was on the verge of coming back. We knew he was probably ready to go, but now the training camp rosters are official. We're here at Media Day. It was made official. And again, it just gets me so excited for this season of Spurs basketball. It's a new Wemby with new training methods, multiple new training methods. Again, over in China, the CLA stuff that he's doing, but also like a team that is ready to embrace him as the centerpiece of this team. The best defender in the NBA could very well be one of the best offensive players in the NBA as well this year. And Mitch Johnson is ready to conform the offense to what Victor Wembanyama can bring. And, you know, we did want a healthy Wembanyama. We wanted everyone healthy, but as I outlined in the last video, we've had so many questions on so many guys. Jeremy Sochan should be a full go for training camp, as we talked about yesterday. Devin Vassell is right there. He's working with him. He's ready to go after having a pretty brutal foot injury derail his season last year. Victor Wembanyama, again, the blood clot, 0 issues. The only lingering, well, I guess Dylan Harper's another issue. Actually, I said earlier Dylan Harper might be able to start for Fox, but I think Harper's also going to miss games, isn't he? Well, you probably already made a comment about that, but hey, you know what? I take it. So it's probably going to be Castle and then Vassell and then Keldon, but regardless, still, Fox and Harper both being hurt to start the season is a bit rough, but you know what? That's okay. I think there's, again, just so much depth, and we have such a long season to try and get these guys back, and it is short-term relatively as well. These guys should only miss a little tiny bit of time, and in the grand scheme of the season, yes, the early games are important, but these early games are going to give us a snapshot of what it looks like in a Wemby-centric offense. I am beyond pumped to see what's going to happen this year for the Spurs. We got positive updates, some negative, but overall, Media Day's here. Doesn't it just feel like the season's right around the corner? We'll probably have a lot more content coming out. Well, I know we'll have a lot more content coming out over the next few days. But listen, that'll do it for this episode. Keep an eye out for all the other news coming out. And if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button. We're less than 200 subscribers away from 10,000. Thank you for tuning in every single day. I'm so excited for Spurs basketball. I know you're excited for Spurs basketball. And if you want to stay up to date every single day, you know that this is the spot to be. I've been your host, Josh Gosse, and I'll catch you in the next one.